Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Amanda.
and this is I'm Your Mother Now podcast.
Do you have chips in your mouth, Sarah?
What episode is it? What season?
Um, it's season 2 and
Mm-hmm.
it's episode 17. I love you too, Beth, even though we haven't met. Oh, shoot. We're all over the place today. Wow. Let's
Some of
let's
us.
so some of us. Okay, so for anyone who is just, joining or listening um later on, Sarah's just taking a little while to get her SHIT together this morning, which is fine. Give yourself some grace, Queen. It's been a long week. You've done a
Oh,
lot.
now we're giving
Okay?
me grace because the
We
audience
only,
is listening.
sweet angel, just shush. You
Just
beautiful
shush.
girl.
Just be
Look at your
here.
skin. How could your
It's
skin be
glowing.
so good and you have a headache? How dare you eat something crunchy on our podcast? What? This is season 2, episode Sarah no longer gives a crap. She's literally trying to eat the crunchiest food.
Chips.
It's sun chips and it's also 8:30 in the morning.
But I just took to leave, and if I don't put something in my stomach, I'm gonna get a tum-tum ache.
Okay, so just hold your mic away when you crunch. And I don't know if when you're done crunching, if you want to mention, is the Akatar box set a paid actor?
You can only see that in the Instagram live though.
Oh, it's like a little Easter egg. I can't actually hear you crunching. I can tell that you feel self-conscious about it, but there's a reason why we have the put the fluffy thing on the mic, Sarah.
Okay, so are you saying that you can hear me speak but not crunch?
Yeah,
Great, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode.
sure. Well, you don't want to talk about your week? You don't want to preamble? You're just tired? You're tired of it?
Well, I am tired because I
Wait,
actually
I have,
like
go ahead, sorry.
my sister says, "Why don't you share something?" But actually, I want to just say something. Like
Go ahead. I do want you to say something. That's the whole point of the podcast.
so basically, I'm very tired
Okay.
and I felt this morning, I was like, am I overtaxed? Like, have I been run out to like am I out? I was like, is something wrong with me?
Um,
Did I hit my wall?
it is interesting. It's an interesting question. I wondered that the same. Because like we're sitting here and I'm sitting down at 8:30. Meanwhile, I've already like emptied out the entire sink this morning and got a kid out the door and made his lunch and made coffee and all of that. And it's just like so many things. And it's like, when is it
Yeah.
too many things?
Well, I think the thing that really just is the case this week is, it's the boys' last week of school.
Ugh, the end of school is always so
And
bad for parents.
it's end of school. Like there's a lot of things on the schedule this week that are not typical normal things.
Yeah.
So I think there was that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just feel like I can't get ahead of anything. I feel like the house has been in a consistent state of mess. The kids themselves are on summer mode somehow, even though school's still happening.
I feel that.
And then like the merging and ending of sports has been a lot
Mm-hmm.
this week. Like we were
Yeah.
in Lancaster until almost 9 o'clock last night, which is totally inappropriate.
Merging and ending meaning like the school sports are ending as the summer sports are starting, like the
Yeah.
different leagues. Yeah.
Like, and it's
Um,
all at once. And then we have a tournament, an away tournament this weekend. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. But you know what? I'm okay. And I have a good day ahead of me where I should have like a little bit of a break, sort of, just to reset my energy.
yeah.
So, as long as this leave kicks in and these sun chips keep me from having an ulcer, good to go.
G G G G. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good job.
All right. So, what antics did you get into?
I just have a question for you, Sarah. What's your favorite memory of me as a child? And we can use the word favorite lightly because there might not be a moment where you're like, oh my God, like this is my favorite moment, but like which one, is the most poignant for you without telling anyone too much about my history?
Wow. Okay.
Don't bring up any of my indiscretions, bitch.
Well, I mean, I think that'd be really interesting of me if my favorite memories of you were of like indiscretions that you had. So,
Well, then I said whatever the most poignant was.
well, I think it's interesting that you mentioned this because I was thinking last night, like, I actually have a lot of like really good memories of my childhood.
I know. Yeah,
You were
yeah.
there.
Let's share them. Go ahead, give us one.
Yeah, so I was remembering that
Hmm.
we used to be downstairs in like the quote unquote basement.
Yep.
Um, and we would watch like The Lion King, and then we would also play some video games down there. But I specifically
Mm.
remember watching The Lion King with you and having snacks. And we had
Oh.
bagels. Well, I made them actually. So they were St. Tom no, wait, Thomas. You know, Thomas English muffins made
Yeah,
bagels.
yeah.
So they were those bagels that I would cut and I would put shit tons of country crock on. Do you remember that? Because you would eat them too.
Like margarine.
Yeah, we only had margarine at that time. It was country crock. And sometimes it was, I can't believe it's not butter, but I would put so much on and it would melt and pool. And so we would sit down there and we'd eat them and we would watch The Lion King.
Oh, I remember eating bagels that had so much butter that it was melted and pulled around and crispy too.
Yeah, I made those. I did that. It was your
So you're
sister.
saying that you made us a snack and then you
Hmm.
brought us down into the basement and we watched a movie together.
We did, and we would play games. We were down there a lot with like the neighbor kids, like with Adam and Lucas and stuff. We were always down there with snacks. And
Lucas.
yeah, and I do remember the snack tray that mom had with the had the center thing with the little
Mm-hmm.
divisions around it, and she would
Yep.
put like grapes and cheese and
Huh.
crackers and put it all down there, and we would all just eat it.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of time down there, so that was a good memory I have that you were there. I also remember you screaming down the hallway, Mom, wipe my butt.
I thought we weren't
Remember
going to talk
that?
about this kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. And then the other thing I remember is that you used to have a sippy cup of orange juice at night to go to bed. And we lived in the same bed room at that time. We had a bunk bed, an L-shaped bunk bed. Do you remember that? You were on the
Oh, was
bottom,
it
I
in
was
the
on the
bedroom
top.
all the way at the end of,
Nope, it was in the bedroom that was most recently mine.
okay, don't remember that at all.
So I was on top, you were in the bottom. It was L-shaped. And mom would give you a sippy cup of orange juice every night. And I remember saying to her, you shouldn't do that because it's going to give her bad teeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Before we
said
had the
to,
internet, we had Sarah.
yeah, I said she shouldn't, I said she shouldn't be drinking juice before bed. And mom was
Seriously.
like, get out of here.
It's such a crazy thing to have juice before bed and then,
Like, what?
but like no candy in the house ever.
No, no candy in the house
I
ever.
remember like all of the things in our house, like the food in the house was like very restricted in terms of what we were able to have in terms of like I feel like we never really had very good snacks. And I carried that with me. I think we talked about this briefly until like my late 20s when I finally realized that I can buy anything I want at the grocery store with my money. And
Yeah.
I have not stopped buying cookies every week since then.
I mean, we all have to do what we have to do to heal, Amanda.
Like
Um,
I even knew that there was a new drop for a Whole Foods brand Oreo, S'moreo. Thumbs
um,
up.
it was a diet time. You know, the late 80s, early 90s were a diet. We did not
Lot
have
Weight
real
Watchers.
butter.
Yeah.
We had Snackwells, Devil's Food.
I remember all the Snackwells. Those I remember very aggressively. Those were tied to
Yep.
Weight Watchers somehow. I feel there was.
Yep. And I was in Weight Watchers, so we were very like in that.
Ooh, or like diabetic foods, like things
Yep,
that like
diabetic
you
foods.
thought were gonna be good, but then they had no
Hmm.
sugar in
Hmm.
them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Carob. We used to eat carob coated things instead. You know what though?
What's
That
carob?
wasn't okay. So actually, this wasn't a mom thing. This was again, it was me. So we used to go to the health food store a lot, the natural food
Sure.
store that was in
Yep.
the that plaza there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at that time, carob was really, really popular. And people thought it was better for you than chocolate. So it was some sort of chocolatey. I don't even know what carob is, honestly. I have no idea what that is. But it doesn't taste exactly like chocolate, but it tastes somewhat close.
Yeah, so it's a naturally sweet and caffeine-free substitute for cocoa. Derived from the pods of the Mediterranean carob tree. It mimics the look, melt, and texture of real chocolate, but has a distinctly roasty, nutty, and mildly sweet flavor.
Correct. So anyway, that I was eating a lot of carob. Um, yeah.
Ugh, ugh. There's something about being a child and things like carob, okay? Like when, when you think something is going to be like a delicious thing and then you bite into it and it's like some tree from the Mediterranean that's pretending to be
Yes. Well, I don't know if you know this story, but one time mom thought I was dying. Did you know that?
Oh gosh, this
So,
is sounding familiar, but
so mom thought I was gonna die because I had tumors in my chest.
okay, but like were you at the hospital? Like was there a doctor that was saying that
Just
you're
listen.
okay?
So, mom thought that I was dying. I remember this because it clearly was impressed upon me that maybe I was dying. I didn't think I was dying. I felt fine, but I could tell she really like was upset. And so I had tumors in my chest and I was going to be going to the doctor the next day. And it was like bedtime. I was like in bed, tucked in. And this is when I had my Laura Ashley bedroom.
I
So,
remember the
okay.
Laura Ashley bedroom, yeah.
So I was tucked in my bed and she comes in. It's nighttime. And she hands me a Twinkie. And I was like, what is this? She let me eat a Twinkie because she thought I was dying. So I'm in bed eating a Twinkie. And I was like, I remember it just being like, this is the best tasting thing I've ever had. The sponginess, the creamy center. I was like, oh, like this is great. Dying is the best. Turns out I was just growing boobs.
How dare you? How dare you scare us like that, Sarah? How
Yep,
dare
yep,
you?
yep.
Did your
Just
relationship with
growing
your
some
mother
tits.
change after this time? It's a joke.
I think. Oh, okay. Anyway, she kept those things, by the way, above the stove. There was a high cabinet above the old stove, and that's where she kept a stash of things. So she actually had like a secret little hoarder stash of bad things that we didn't know about, which is
That's
totally fine. That's an appropriate mom thing to do.
hide the snacks. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have to
Hmm.
do that around here. Are you kidding? If I want anything, I have to hide them.
It's true, but you also have a very vast array of snacks that are uh, elite snacks for kids. So
Yeah.
you
And I
you
even say,
keep
like,
your
do you
bag
like
of
these
whatever you
snacks?
need. And
Yeah.
what do they say? It's
Ooh,
fine.
ooh, we
It's
like the mini
okay.
muffins. We like the little muffins. Mm.
Ah, teenage boys are the best.
No.
No?
So yeah. So anyway, if I don't know if that really answers your question. I found you really annoying for most of my childhood. So like I wasn't like looking for like joyful moments with my little annoying sister.
Yeah, believe it or not, I know that, Sarah. Okay. For anyone who's listening and is like, oh my gosh, I wish that I could have this relationship with my sister and be this close. I'm going to tell you, just wait, okay? Because it took about,
25 to 30
no,
years.
more than that. It took like, we've only been super duper close for like the past 2 years, Sarah. Like, I remember very distinctly being surprised that you were like hanging out with me for your birthday. This last time when we were thinking about what your birthday was and you were like, "Well, obviously what are we going to do?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know," because I thought you were just going to go do whatever you wanted. for your birthday.
Really? What about when I took you on my Mexico birthday trip?
Why would you bring that up? You want me to get into the details of why I was on that trip?
No, no.
Because you didn't invite me to that trip.
But you were available to come.
Exactly. What am I if not a
Anyway,
good available sister?
okay, wow. Okay, so but basically I'm just telling you you were annoying to me back then.
I know. I do. I know. I remember being annoying.
It's yeah, it's just the age difference. It was too fast.
It was too vast. It's weird how you're younger than me now. How does that work? Anyhow, we really like when you said meat and potatoes, like, okay, we had some stuff to talk about this episode because earlier in the week I decided to poll um, our
Threads.
threads. And for those of you who are not familiar, threads is people on threads. Because I have been, I think about a lot of things now that I have a young child in my house and the words that I use to him and the language and all of that and
Yeah.
how I want him
Yeah.
to feel, how I want to motivate his behavior. And it kind of makes me think that there was a lot of fear-based parenting happening back in the 80s and 90s. Um,
Yeah.
and, I have heard this not only from my own childhood, but from several other people that I know over the years, that there's this statement that their parent would say to them, "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone." Okay, and
Yeah.
it's said in the setting where it's not in jest. It's not like, oh, here are all the things that I'm doing for you. You're going to miss me when I'm gone, kind of thing. No, it's like, you aren't listening to me. Wait until I'm not here and take a moment to think about how that's going to make you feel. You're going to feel sad and you're going to wish I was here. So you should listen to what I'm saying right now.
Oh, I
Okay.
feel like you're like mad at me.
I know because you know what I just realized as I'm saying this? I've got the mom voice down.
Yeah, I was like, am I
I
in
do want to
trouble?
scare him sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm in
And
trouble.
so and I say we because sometimes, we have a social media presence that's like, heavily influenced by me making a bunch of like little like silly videos and doing whatever the case is. But my sister went to Harvard, so when it comes to writing captions and things of that nature, she really is the best. So I told her how I was feeling and she said, ask threads. And I said, I've been wanting to, but I can't figure out how to say it. Well, let me tell you, Sarah did it in a way that really rustled the bushes, okay? Birds started flying out of the bushes, okay? This thread got over 30,000 views. And just for some context, like, I will have a thread that one person views, and that's probably me checking to see if anyone has commented on it. So it got some traction, and what I found was there were a few groups of people.
So
Everyone had
pause.
pause.
So first of all, because I feel like you're rambling a little because you're nervous about this still, huh? You feeling a
No, I'm
little?
just about to get into it. I don't feel nervous at
Well,
all.
oh, okay. Because basically the question is like
Was it true?
the question is, for those whose parents said, you'll miss me when I'm gone, was it true?
Yeah, I was literally about to get to that. I was right there. I was about to then tell everyone what I posted.
Oh, wow. Look at me saving the day. Proceed.
Rambling. Do I sound rambling and emotional? I'm very confident about this topic that I'm about to get into right now. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we said. Okay. So we said, for those of you who heard from a parent, okay, you're going to miss me when I'm gone, or any variation of the sentiment. Okay. Come here. I want to ask you something. And then the question was, did this end up being true?
Was it true? Yeah.
So, resounding no. Okay, there was a large segment, and everyone in your mind, just, whatever works for you to visualize. I'm seeing a pie chart. There's a big segment of these people who are just like, no, it was not true. And this sort of statement was a dog whistle for abuse. Um, there is a smaller segment who joined the conversation to let us know that it was true, but upon further, reading into these comments, and some people actually came back and edited their own. It was said in jest, and it was something that was like endearing to them for someone in their family that they, were very close with that would joke around with them, like, "Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm not here." Okay, so there was
Right.
those two people, and then there was a third that was either the boomers themselves
Mm-hmm.
or people who had not yet, and you could tell by the way some of these comments were worded, they had not yet quite gotten there. They've heard this and they know they don't know that it was a tactic to manipulate their behavior using fear, right? They don't think about that. Everyone is in a different phase of healing when it comes to whatever aspect it is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we really wrestled up the bushes on this one. And I, what's my conclusion? My conclusion, thanks for asking, Sarah. Um,
I'm trying not to interrupt you.
interrupt me now because now I'm rambling.
Okay,
Wait.
okay, now she's rambling. So what we're saying basically is fear, a lot of the things we say reflexively are in fact very fear-based because if they're things you heard when you were very in a formative time as a child, that is logged into your subconscious as what you
Hmm.
say in this context. So it's
Right.
really easy to experience reflexive you know fear-based parenting if that's what you received as a child because and
Sure.
when someone triggers that button you're just going to say it. And quite frankly, there's a million times in my life that I've wanted to say that to my kids because there is this certain level of ungratitude, right? That
Hmm.
happens when you're a parent and you're dealing
Right.
with a kid where you're just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like,
I know. It's
all I do for you, and
is
this,
everything.
yeah, and this is the attitude I'm getting. But
Yeah.
at the yeah,
At
and
the
so
end of
you
the
you want to
day,
you want to say, wow, I you're gonna fucking miss me when I'm dead, but at the end of the day, that who you want to be. And I think
no.
the the underlying thing here from your query and the information we gathered, and then what does that mean, what does that translate to, with a boots on the ground situation, right? Is we need to pause always when we're about to have a reaction and ask ourselves, is this my reaction or am I parroting something that I learned at a different
Hmm.
time? Is it actually how I feel and how is this going to impact the person, right? And
Right.
is that the person I want to be? Maybe it is. Maybe that in that moment that's what you want to say. Fine. But be
Hmm.
conscious about what you're doing. And I think
Yeah.
like this generation of parents that were constantly talking about these things and wondering about the impacts of our actions and words is a new
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
it's actually very exhausting, right?
Hmm.
So the people who we are going to parent and put out in the world are going to be very different than us because they're not going to be traumatized like us. So they're not going to have the same reactions that we did that made us seem grateful, right? Because they
Right.
aren't actually grateful for us taking care of them at a baseline level because they expect it because we just do it.
Right. And also, they didn't ask to be here. I feel like that's a whole thing too. Like a lot of these things are, to your point, baseline parenting. Like
Well,
all of
it's
those
baseline
things.
care, right? Baseline
Care,
care.
sure,
But if
sure.
you
Which
didn't
is
receive baseline care and your parents didn't receive baseline care, there's no
right.
baseline to be working with. So
No.
it's not really the boomers. It's not really that. It's like we just have traumatized generations of parents traumatized themselves that were traumatized by others and by
Yeah.
everything. And we are just over here trying to pull ourselves out of that and not repeat the same things. So that's all it is. It's a behavior modification. So you're just kind of
Right.
checking yourself. Like, do you want to be that person? Or do you want to be the person who, when your children are grown up, they actually seek out your advice and seek out your company
Mm-hmm.
because they just enjoy you?
Right. Yeah. And I think an unintended consequence of saying this statement over and over again is that as your kids get older and they start to think about things, they start to think about when you're not there. You have forced them
It's a
now to,
manifestation.
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy,
Yeah. I
you know?
mean,
And it's like, am I? I don't know because you bring me so much stress.
So much
So,
stress.
and somehow the if the stress you're bringing me is to get some sort of action out of me, it's not working, right?
Right. But again, a lot of I have empathy for the phrase because
Sure.
like as a parent, you have those moments where you're just like, I can't even believe this is happening right now. Like, you know,
So how how do we take this phrase?
yeah.
What's a new phrase?
Well, I guess let's break. I think it needs to be many different phrases, right? First of all, get a diary and have some friends because you should probably talk about things with your friends. Like process, right? Like process these things not with your
That's so,
children
it's like literally so important to have friends that you talk to. You
all
don't
the
even need
time.
to have that many, okay? Like
No.
you really don't. You need to just bounce the things that you were thinking off of someone. A very
Yes.
biased third party, sure,
Yeah, but
sure.
not the person you created and that you're currently raising. Like they shouldn't be involved
No,
in the processes of what it's like to parent them. It's not their business.
no,
But I
no.
think it is, what I did. I actually had a moment of this last night, and I'll tell you what I did. And I don't know if it's good or helpful, but this is what I did.
Sure.
Because we were going to a game, and I made my eldest come with me to the game for his brother, and we're like halfway there, and he's just like sitting there, and he looks at me, he's like, I don't even want to be here, and I'm like, wow, okay, and he just like has an attitude, and I said, well, you're here, so you might as well make the best of it, and he was like, how? And I said, well, by maybe shifting your energy because you're here. And he's like, ooh, whatever. So we were kind of just driving, and I looked at him and I said, what I've been really like for you to do is start to really sit with things before you say them. So you can have any thoughts you want, but before you speak them out loud, I would like you to take a moment to consider, how do you think the things you're about to say are going to land for the people around you? How do you think what you're going to say is going to make them feel?
Mm.
Just take a
And then
moment
what? And
and
then what
consider
is
that.
your desired outcome?
I didn't even go that far because I don't even
Well,
think he has the ability, but I just want you to think about it. I want you to think
yeah,
about, before you say it, how will it land? How will it affect the people around you? I said, do you think you can do that? Ooh, yeah. So anyway, I said that, and I stayed calm because what I really want to do is just like open the car door and kick him out. But it's you can't force empathy. You can't force connection. You can force a person to be somewhere, but you can't force their energy to.
no, you can't. And he's at the worst freaking age ever.
He's
That's
me.
such a hard age. It's such a hard age. And yet, as soon as you were saying it, you're like, okay, he said he doesn't want to be here. I was like, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I actually have a vivid memory of being forced out of my basement where I was in the middle of a very rousing role play to attend your horse show. And I was
Exactly.
so about it. I was
Oh,
just like,
we
oh,
have pictures. We have pictures.
yes, it's
We have pictures.
immortalized.
We brought the dog too.
Yep.
We brought the
I
dog,
rem
and
I
you're sitting in
remember,
the. And your
yeah.
face looks like this.
Yep. I'm hunched over. I'm sitting. I remember what I was wearing. Well, it's in a picture, but I I was so viscerally irritated by that situation. So it's not like my presence there was adding to anyone's day. And
No,
and this is actually a teachable moment for me. In retrospect, it did not teach me to appreciate anything that was going on. It didn't teach me to be more empathetic and be there for my sister. All it taught me was, you guys suck, and that's the end of it. That's what I
sure.
learned. That's what I learned that day, and I already knew that. So
Yeah, sure. Because I mean, I bet just knowing what I know from our childhood, like if the reason that they wanted you to go was because they wanted you to get out of the basement and get a couple of hours of fresh air, like
I
going and
think that's
sitting outside
probably
in the
what it
horse,
was.
and but not saying that, I don't think they would ever say that. They'd be like, you just got to go because I'm saying you got to go, and it's like,
No, it was
hey,
dad.
well, obviously it was him who would have taken the picture of you.
Yeah, it
You
was
then
dad
became
because
his muse at the horse show. He didn't want to go either.
that exactly. He
He's
didn't
like,
want to
you
go, so
think
he
this is
made
how I
me
want to spend
go,
my Saturday?
which is
And I was
so
like,
crazy
I
because
don't know.
because
I'm just riding horses because my sister liked horses.
but it's so crazy too because, like, as an adult now, right? Do you think I love the sport of baseball and or soccer or football? No, friends, I
No,
don't.
it's
I
not
would
about
like,
that.
do you think? But watching the joy that my children have playing that and how good they've gotten and watching them interact with their friends and like all that, that brings me incredible joy. And I'm so proud of them. Like, I
Yeah.
go and sit in very uncomfortable spaces for very long periods of time and spend a lot of money
Yeah.
because they enjoy doing that. And
Yeah.
as a result, it does not suck my soul to be there mostly
No, you're
because
cheering.
I'm cheering. I'm into it because I mean, and if, oh my God,
How do you not get into it?
if my kids were into horseback riding and I got to go to freaking horse shows, are you kidding me?
Right, but I think that you are forgetting that our parents didn't have a lot of hobbies in that regard.
I have to go.
You really do.
I do. I'm
Well, this is
sorry.
okay. Well, this has been fun. I love chatting with you, Sarah.
We should do it again.
We should do it again.
You should come visit me.
I should come visit you.
Just think about it. Sit with it.
Yeah, we should go see like some live music or something. Maybe we'll,
Mm,
maybe.
something a little folksy but really popular.
I don't know. Let's see.
Have a great day.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to I'm Your Mother Now podcast, an Amala Moon production. If you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if I've done the RSS feed properly, wherever you get your pods. You can follow us on Instagram at IYMN_podcast to watch us live on Friday mornings and catch the full episodes on our YouTube channel, I'm Your Mother Now podcast. We'd love if you could share this with a friend who'd vibe with the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more people to find us. We'll see you next week. Bye.